Welcome back to another weekend of training vlog, your Monday evening special, or Monday morning, I'm not sure. So we've got two sessions, Saturday and Sunday again. So Saturday session, a lot of snatching and some clean and jerking, and then Sunday we've got the bigger sets of 5x5 squats. I'm probably going to call it something like brutal 5x5 squat workout, even though it wasn't really brutal. I'm going to say it was fun. So today's session, the first session, just a lot of doubles at 100 kilos in the snatch. And then I hadn't planned to go for a heavier single, but I hadn't done a heavier single in the snatch in about 2 weeks at this point, mostly due to a holiday. But I was very, very happy at how these are going. So a lot of things were going quite well at these. I was quite happy with the speed. So a couple of things I was focusing on in these in terms of technique, or what I was cueing myself in my head, are, so start position was kind of loading up my legs. My back was tight, but I was not really flexing anything. Then I think about pushing my legs off the ground, sweeping the barbell back. Then I think about sweeping back onto my heels as the barbell past my knees. Then I think about a full extension, and then I think about finishing my arms. And these were some of the best snatches I've done all year for sure. These were great. They got better as the weights got heavier. The 110 there was good. 115 was nice, and I was so fucking happy at the 120, as you would have seen from the short I saw if you didn't see it. So the 150 was nice. The contact is smoothing up a lot. The pull under is a lot sharper. The pull feels a lot stronger because I was doing a shitload of pulls. My back is a lot stronger. So very, very happy at this 120. Timing was great. Speed was very good. Foot movement was good. One thing I've been working on a lot actually is the lockout and trying to figure that out a little bit, which I'll talk more about in a minute. So then I just moved on to some clean and jerk 1+2s. So I am taking these at approximately 70% of whatever new kind of heavy single I hit. Because I don't want to be using heavier percentages right now, as I don't need to, as it wouldn't work out incredibly well in terms of fatigue, because if I kept increasing, say, into the 80% or whatever for working sets, I think it would catch up to me a bit too soon until I get into a more steady or closer to what I want to run is more consistently, I suppose. So just a lot of 1+2s of these. So I took these at approximately 70% of 140. Cleans I wasn't as happy with as they have been recently. My forearms and biceps are a little bit tender from a lot of jiu-jitsu the night before, so I was kind of muscling the cleans a little bit, which I was not happy with. And then just finished off that session with some 4x3 snatch grip deadlifts, or 5x3 I should say. So then the second session, so not much Olympic lifting on this day, so I just moved on to muscle snatches. One of the things I was focusing on a lot is finishing, as I was saying there, the snatch session was finishing the third pull with my arms, like turning the barbell over very aggressively. And one of my favorite exercises to do that is the no contact muscle snatch. With these, I'm not a huge fan, as I mentioned before, of doing no hook grip, no contact muscle snatches. So with these I was practicing with the muscle snatch with the hook grip. As you mentioned as well, or I mentioned previously, one of the variations, quote unquote, I do at the moment is, because my heavy snatches will be done at straps, I actually practice a lot of snatches with hook grip, as you swing the barbell less and you're not able to speed up in portions of the lift which you wouldn't normally be able to speed up. If you're a competitive athlete and you compete in weightlifting, then you should spend almost all of your time snatching the floor without straps, especially if you're an amateur lifter. If you're a professional lifter and training multiple times a day, it's somewhat of a necessity to train with straps. But if you are a recreational lifter, basically none of your lifts should be done from the floor with straps. Now some people can get away with that, but in general, as a rule, and most people should stick to this rule and generally it proves true, they should really spend most of their floor snatches with hook grip. So I moved on to about 60 kilos. These are feeling very strong. Main thing I was focusing on with these was making sure that I was keeping my elbows high and elbows high for as long as possible and knuckles down for as long as possible, and then some overhead squats after, because you can never do too many overhead squats. Main thing I'm focusing on in my overhead position at the moment is the left side doesn't lock out fully, so there's still a bit of flexion in my bicep, and it's been like that for the last couple of months, maybe even more than a little bit, a year and a bit or so. And so I was asking the therapist I see once a week at the moment what his opinions on that were, and he thinks it could probably coming from my forearm. There's a lot of tender spots in my forearm, and he said that can affect pronation, so he called it pronation or supination in the forearm, but which obviously would affect external rotation or internal rotation in your shoulder, which is something I'd never actually thought about, so it's interesting. So I'd never thought about going upstream from the shoulder into the forearm, for shoulder mobility. So one of the things I was doing as well is the strict press hasn't been I haven't really been doing much strict press lately in the last couple of months, but in the pressing position my elbows are just very achy, and it's not a fluid position getting into the overhead position, so I should have been doing a lot of strict press over the last few weeks, so it's my own fault. So I've added those in again. Even the eccentric of the strict press is quite sore, not as in it's not injury sore, it's very very achy, which is something I should be aching, so I need to add those in. So then on to the 5x5 at 170. So I think the last video we was seen, I was doing 5x3 at 170, so 5x5 at 170 today. These moving very well. I fucking love 5x5. I love big squat sessions, heavy ones. The heavier they are and the more reps they are, the more I love it. I genuinely just enjoy it so much, and I think it might be a selection bias too, because squats go so well for me, and squats are a thing for me, like that's what my body likes doing, so I think it's even more of a selection bias. Not only do I psychologically enjoy it, I think because it goes well, I enjoy it even more. Yeah, so 175x5, probably will be looking to push this a lot more weight as the summer goes on, but we'll see how that's going. It's going very well at the moment. I'm quite happy at how these felt. Just some alternate angles from the phone, just so you can see what it looks like. Technique is still staying very consistent. One small issue was I kept drifting forward onto my toes, just a very very small amount. You wouldn't see it visibly, but inside my shoe it was just a little bit coming forward onto my toes. Main thing I was focusing on then, of course, was just keeping the quads loaded on the squat up. And then finished with, of course, so really pushing my back strength as well, and it's definitely paying off for both of the lifts. So I'm actually pulling more than I'm doing squats at the moment. So pulling about 4 times a week and squatting about 3 times a week, depending on how sessions go. I didn't do any low hang pulls, clean pulls last week, and I think it's something I still need to keep on top of for a good bit. So I did some sessions, and then I realized halfway through this couple of sets I was like, oh shit, I actually haven't done any low hangs. So to finish off the last 2 sets with the low hangs, and for me lower back tension, mid back tension is super high and heavy low hangs, so it's something I'll be keeping for the foreseeable future and keep working my back, and it's made a huge difference to my snatch and my clean, and it's probably something I should have done on previous training blocks in the last couple of years, but you live and you learn, and you learn more every year, so I will be pushing those as well for sure. So having a big 1RM is important, but also doing multiple sets and repetitions to reinforce your kind of mind-muscle connection, for want of a better phrase, with your back is definitely important for weightlifting. Increase the mechanical tension, so definitely pushing those. Hope you enjoyed the training vlog, and I will see you again next week for another training vlog. Maybe Dara might have a training vlog. Woo!